Hello. Today we are doing a tutorial on tendon repairs. We're going to cover 3 techniques: the Adelaide, the modified Kessler, and the cruciate. We have our weekly members only content, which is available on subscription, so check that out. But today we're just going to cover tendon repairs. If you are a subscriber, we do answer your questions and make you subscription only content just for your training. You're welcome to become a community member here or on our website, medsyncltd.com/community. That's medsyncltd.com/community. So let's get into this repair. Got our MedSync simulated tendon, and we've got the suture of choice. For tendon repairs, you need a core repair and an epitendinous repair. The core repair is important. The epitendinous repair is just as important. The epitendinous, the one that goes around the tendon, that's 20% additional strength, and it tidies up the repair site to stop it from catching on the pulley systems of the finger. You can use a monofilament or braided for the core repair. I prefer to use a monofilament, glides well, not too bulky or not. And I do a 4-stranded repair. You need to look at your, I'm going to actually change my needle because you can see how short this needle is. That's just going to make it hard work. So I'm going to get a longer needle. So when you're looking at your suture packet, just look at a few details: the length of the needle, the curvature, and the strength required to break it. So I'm going to get a longer, stronger needle. Here we are. So here's the one that I'm going to use. This one is 26 millimeters, this one's 18, so I want this one. You want a round bodied needle so that it doesn't cut your repair out. And the next thing is you need to take the memory out of the suture. So I mount the needle, pull the packet away. It's double-ended, so I'm just going to cut it in half, roughly. Sorry about the noise, I guess it's like ASMR. You can palm it if you so desire. A lot of the things that we cover in our basic suturing come up here, so you might find use. So if you look at this suture, it's all coiled up. We don't want that. That's just gonna, when you tie a knot, it's just gonna straighten the suture. So rather, we're gonna take this memory, so the shape, out of it. So I'm gonna secure the needle like this, make the point face the body. I'm gonna grab the suture up here and apply traction this way so I don't pull it out of the swage end. I'm gonna pull the suture and just taking out the memory, like so. If you're getting value, like it, share it. If you want real value, become a subscriber here on our website. And now look at that, nice and straight. That's what you want. So we're going to do a core repair. Our first repair is going to be the modified Kessler. I'll do one zoomed in and one zoomed out. You want to minimally handle that tendon, because the more you handle it, the more scar you get. So I'm using a tooth forceps, that's okay. It's already cut at the repair site, so I'm just going to hold it at the repair site. I'm going to hold it well, I'm going to hold it once. So a longitudinal bite, 1 centimeter from the site of injury, like this. I'm going to come a bit towards my side. Yeah. Push it through. Now, I need to turn the position. 1 centimeter bite. Now I need to go side to side. The needle's the wrong way around, so I'm going to turn it around like this. And now we go here, like this. And push. And then we need to repeat that first bite. And now I'm going to palm it. And the next repair I do on the other side, I'll zoom out so you can see my hands. And I never let go of the tendon. I think that's really important. You want to grab the tendon minimally, cause less scarring and adhesions. And it's nice and flush. If you really want to secure your suture because you're concerned you'll pull it out, you can mount it on a clip, the short end, and just keep it out the way like this. So now we zoom out. If you're getting value, like it, give us a gift, share it. If you really want value, become a member for our weekly only content or join our website, medsyncltd.com/community. So 1 centimeter bite. So we finished on this side, so we need to continue on this side. This is a simulated MedSync tendon, 1 centimeter. Let's go that side. I like that. So you can see my hand positions like this. I'm rotating the needle, just pushing it gently, pull it gently. So you have two options. You can mount it like this, or I can mount it how I want it like this. This is a bit awkward for me. You can also stand up and move to do it. If you're getting value and you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Catch our content regularly. So now I need to go from here to here. This is the position I'm in. That's not helpful. So I need to rotate the needle like so. We do this with our skin suturing, and this is why. You don't want to let go of the tendon and then grab it again and let go of the tendon and grab it again, because you get more scarring. More scarring means less movement in recovery. And now we pull. Mount it where you want it. That's where I want it. That's how I had it, and now I'm going to go to the palmed grip. Yeah, you can hold it like this, but you need flexibility for this repair. So if you're holding it like this, you haven't got much flexibility as a short needle holder. So I tend to hold it a bit loosely like this. This is my palm grip for tendon repairs. But be flexible, that's the key. There's no right, there's no wrong in how to palm it. There's two options, pick one depending on how things feel for you. So that's 2 strands. Let me secure this again. That's 2 strands done. And what does it mean by saying that's 2 strands? Well, if you count the number of strands that cross the repair site, 1, if I tied that, that would be 2. But I want to make it 4-stranded. So 4 strands is making it cross the repair site 4 times. So we go again. But this time, your bite is proximal to your first set. So just under 1 centimeter. So you take a longitudinal bite through the core substance, like that. You're still zoomed out so you get the view of what my hands are doing. I've mounted it like this. I need to go side to side, so I'm going to go like this. I've parked it where I want it. Now I can reposition side to side. Mount it where you want it. I don't want to let go of the tendon. And then a longitudinal bite again. Focus on the needle. Forget the loops of thread. Yeah. If you're getting value, like it, share it, subscribe, follow our content. Become a member. Donate a cup of coffee. Whatever works for you. So that's 1 set of 4 done. And you want to repeat over here. Come across. So this is a modified Kessler 4-stranded using a monofilament suture Proline, and it's a 3-0. That's typically what I use for my core repairs. I need to rotate this needle so I can go from this way to this way. I'm not going this way, I'm coming this way. So just gonna go like this. And it just looks far more slick, if you ask me. I grabbed each side once at the beginning, and I don't let go until I finished it. I'm keeping my hand steady, I'm giving counter traction. So as I stitch this way and I stitch this way, I'm pulling the tendon this way so that it has traction and tension to allow my suture to pass. With the round-bodied needles, they don't pass as easily as the cutting or reverse cutting because they're round-bodied. The reason they're round-bodied, because how many times you can see I've passed this needle around the suture, it would cut out. it would cut the sutures with the needle body. So that's a 4-strand repair, modified Kessler. I would tie that off and it bring it together nicely like this. See that? Let me zoom in for y'all. I'm not co-hosting with anybody. This is our show. And then you tie it like this and it comes together nicely. Okay, so that's the 4-stranded modified Kessler on a MedSync tendon simulator. Tendon repairs are done by, well, in the UK, plastic surgery or orthopedics in the hand. In the bigger muscles and the foot and ankle, that's ortho's bag. I'm going to try and preserve some of this suture so I don't waste it. Sutures are a pretty penny. Let's do this. Let's reverse. So as you can see, it doesn't come out easily. So when you go wrong, you have to redo the whole thing. All of it. You have to redo all of it. So we've talked about the modified Kessler. It's a core repair and you want to do it 4-stranded. All right. So that's that. You see how robust this tendon simulator is? I've just butchered the thing and I still have it. Other options, I can just cut off the ends, but I don't need to do that. So, the modified Kessler, that's the first one. To give your mind a comparison, you have the Adelaide. I often find people saying that the Adelaide and the modified Kessler are the same thing. They are very, very different. The modified Kessler, if I draw it for you, goes like this. That's a tendon. You take a bite in here, and then you go side to side like this. And then you come to the front like this. And we'll just do like this to make your lives easier. So you come down here, and then you come into the side, and you come out, and then come in on top. That's the modified Kessler shape for comparison. We're going to do an Adelaide now, and you can see the difference. If you're left-handed, that just comes down to how you suture. Most of the instruments tend to be right-handed, but if you're left-handed, you can still do it. It's just what I'm doing as forehand, you'd be doing backhand. And what I'm doing as backhand would be your forehand. So it's just about setup and knowing how to make these things work. So that's the modified Kessler. Let's do an Adelaide. Let me zoom in on this so you can see the comparison. This is a modified Kessler, this is an Adelaide that I'm about to do. And you'll see the difference in the shape. So grab my tendon once. Let me grab it properly. Take a bite, 1 centimeter. It's also a 4-stranded repair, but it's a locking repair. And then my first bite is away from me, distal to the first. But as you can see here, I didn't go all the way across. I'm just on the anterior surface. And then I'm about to make this across by coming in somewhere over here, down the side wall of the tendon, ideally. Need that counter traction, so I'm pulling this way and pushing this way. I'm gonna put a clip on my short end, because otherwise it's gonna get in my way. All right, so it makes a cross. And that is the key difference between the modified Kessler and the Adelaide. The Adelaide is a cross, the modified Kessler goes all the way. All right, and you do the same thing on each side. So I'll show you. It's a 1 centimeter bite. I went down the sidewall, so I have to continue down the sidewall on this side. Take a bit longer a bite. So the second bite is what makes a difference. It's whether you stitch this way or you stitch this way. This one, first one is away. The second one is towards. So it's going to be here. Like so. And then I have to complete the cross by going in somewhere over there, like this. It's a bit anterior, should be a bit more lateral, but it will do. And so that's half of the repair done. Yeah, so if you compare to the modified Kessler, goes all the way across and comes down, whereas the Adelaide is just 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and it makes a cross on it. So the modified Kessler and the Adelaide are not the same, easy to get confused. The Adelaide can be a bit trickier, if you ask me, but nothing worthwhile is easy. So, like I said, the first bite is always a longitudinal bite, 1 centimeter. It's whether the second bite you take a bite towards you or away from you. This one needs to be towards me. A bit difficult with my hand in the way, but you're just going to have to be a bit flexible. You can stand up and have a look. So I'm here. Again, I've done this position to be a bit more flexible. Mount it how you want to mount it on the needle holder, and you can move the needle around. I now need to take a bite over here and come out here. So to do that, I need to stitch backhand. That technique that I just showed you is the same technique we use when we're suturing. So this, I would say, I should have come out somewhere around here, but again, it will suffice for this purpose. I probably would reverse it in reality, in real life. So I'm coming out of the side wall, so I want to redirect that a little bit by going a bit deeper. Secure my tendon. Follow the curve, going a bit too, coming out over here. So again, redirect it. It's like when you put in a cannula, you don't want to come all the way out unless you really rudder it. So just gonna steer this boat as needed. It's not quite coming out the core substance, so I just need to redirect the end. Let's see. Nope, it is not. So I've actually stood up because I want to make sure this goes in where I want it to go. And this is what I would do in reality. In reality, I mean in real life. And that is better. So I didn't come all the way out, I just reversed it to steer it. I never let go of the tendon, and I stood up to help myself get the angle. So the struggles, this is how I deal with the problem. And that's, I think, the key to anything, is how you deal with problems when things aren't going your way rather than just when things are going perfectly. And then we do the last one. So it's always a longitudinal bite, 1 centimeter. The first one, so this is about the second bite, whether you stitch away from you or towards you. This one was away, this one was towards, this one was towards, this one will be away. Adelaide, ATTA is how I remember it. Away, towards, away. So this last one is the last A, and it's away. You want to make sure you get in the core substance. Like I said, I think this is a trickier one, Adelaide, but I think it's a good one. It's a locking repair. And then we need to complete the cross by going over here. So again, tendon repairs, I'm going to readjust because I'm damaging the end of the tendon by not holding it properly. Enter in the central substance, like that. And then we pull. So let's zoom in on that, and then you can see the crosses compared to the modified Kessler. Yeah, so that is the difference. And that's the Adelaide repair. It's a locking repair, whereas the modified Kessler is typically a grasping repair, but that can be modified. So the Adelaide, the modified Kessler, this can be 2-stranded or 4-stranded, the modified Kessler. The Adelaide is always 4-stranded. So let's secure our needle because we're done with this one. We've been very economical. We aren't sponsored by anybody, so we have to be economical. To secure your needle, this sharp bit needs to face the body like this. If you're done with it, which I am, you can let this go inside the needle holder, so nobody can ever get caught on it. In terms of needle anatomy, you've got the body, the point is the sharp bit, and the swage is where the suture connects. You don't want to pull here because you'll pull the swage off. You pull the suture off the swage, and you don't want to grab here on the point because you'll blunt it. You don't need an endoscope for this. This is macroscopic surgery. At best, you can use loupes. All right. So now I'm going to freshen up my tendon ends. It's our MedSync tendon simulator by cutting it off. And then we get fresher ends. You don't tend to do that with tendon repairs because you have only got so much length to work with. We need to do our final repair, which is the cruciate. I'm going to keep this here because, again, it can be a little bit confusing. If you got value out of this so far, subscribe, number one. Become a regular follower as such. Like this feed. Just press like. There should be as many likes as there are watchers because we want as many people as possible to see this content. It is free and it should always be free. If you want to help us with the continuity of this free content, we do have some paid content, which is subscription only. Every week we release a video for our members only for the price of a coffee, and maybe a Starbucks coffee because they're a bit overpriced. For the price of a Starbucks coffee, and it just goes into a bit more depth. But if you put all the videos together, you can probably get similar information, but I guess the benefit of the subscription is that we'll also make you some personalized content and give you some tutorials based on things that you actually want to know, whereas this public content is free and rather generic, but still good quality and essential. So we covered this at the beginning. You've got a nice coiled up Prolene suture. It's got memory. It remembers the position that it's been formed in. We want to take out that memory. So secure the needle so we don't get a sharps injury. That's no good. That is no good. Gonna hold here, put traction so we don't pull it off the swage, and then pull away from my right hand. Pulling, 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 taking out that memory. You need to do this with Prolene because otherwise it'll be coiled up. When you tie your knots, it'll just be taking out the memory. And you see now, it's straight and has forgotten its former self. We like that a lot. Now we can unsecure. So now we're going to do the cruciate repair. The cruciate repair is a 4-stranded repair. I think it's rather straightforward. It's not my favorite repair, but it works very well. If I do it, I'll do it on an extensor tendon. Don't tend to do it on flexors. Alrighty, so another core repair for you, the cruciate repair. Start by going obliquely. We can go this oblique. 1 centimeter bite from the center, coming out the side. It has to be the side, not the anterior surface. 1 centimeter bite. My bites aren't good here. There's not enough depth to them. So we're here, come out the side, 1 centimeter. So from the core to the side. This way our knot stays buried. So we're here. Then we need to do a longitudinal bite coming from here and coming over here. So we need to turn this needle around like so. I have not let go of the tendon. That is the priority here. It's not about, oh, you put the needle on the tendon, forget that. You don't want to cause more. I didn't poke the tendon. I didn't cause any injury to it. The more you grab the tendon ends off and on, off and on, off and on, the more scar you cause, the more adhesions, the less functional recovery you get. I'm using a tooth forceps. Again, I'm only grabbing it once. It means I can apply less pressure between the teeth, the prongs. If you use a non-tooth forceps, you're going to have to apply a lot more pressure to keep it gripped. So just use a tooth forceps. Now, some won't like that, but these are the facts. And we're here. I'm gonna get that suture out of my way by putting a clip on it, like so. Longitudinal bite, longitudinal bite. Down the central substance, 1 centimeter. When you go along, you have to cross the length of the other one. We now need to get from this tendon over there. So we're going to go obliquely from side to side. So I'm now going in the palmed grip. My elbow is up in the air, which is bad economy of movement. Side to the middle. The suture doesn't pass as easily because it's round-bodied. So I'm just putting counter traction. Don't like that. I'm going to reposition. So that's now I've grabbed it twice. I'm going to try not to do that again because that won't do me any favors for recovery. Come out the central substance. I like that. And we're here. It's like a driving test. If you drive a manual, I know some of you don't know how to drive a manual, but for those of us that do, when you first learn, you can either move the gear sticks like this, you know, like Fast and the Furious, or you can just press the clutch and go like this. Yeah, so you either do aggressive or you just go like this. They achieve the same outcome. One just looks less elegant than the other. We're going for elegance here because it causes less damage. So just let the tendon suture glide through the tendon. We've gone obliquely, so we've gone from the side to the middle. We need to go from the middle and come out the side. 1 centimeter on this side. Let go of it. Let it glide. Let it glide. Mount it how you want it in the teeth of the needle holder. And then you can reverse it or reposition yourself. So it's upside down, it's the wrong way. So this is the way I want to hold it, but I need to reverse it. So now I'm just going to push it against my forceps and lock it. You can then go in, disengage, and push it through. And here we go. So we've got one more to do on this side. My tendon's looking a bit battered and worse for wear right now because I'm grabbing it and cutting it and doing all the things with it. Longitudinal bite 1 centimeter. And then finally, we complete that oblique bite. So we started obliquely by going in the center and out the side. We need to go out the side and in the center to meet this one. So we're here. So that's now I've grabbed this twice, which is not the plan, but I took my time to explain. So out in the side, through the center, and now we tie. So different to the modified Kessler as well. And you tie like this. So we've covered 3 tendon repairs in the space of, I don't know how long, but important. Didn't take very long if you know the tricks and the tips. You would then complete this with the epitendinous repair, which adds 20% strength and tidies up these edges to help it glide. Principles: core repair, epitendinous repair. You want to do a 4-stranded repair, which is the number of times the sutures cross the repair site, modified Kessler, Adelaide, or cruciate. Cruciate and modified Kessler are gliding repairs. Adelaide is a locking repair. Pick one that works for you, but 4-stranded is ideal. You can use a monofilament suture or a braided suture. Monofilament like polyprolene, braided like Ethibond. the choice is yours. Risks: braided sutures you can't pull through as easily, has softer knots, but can be potentially bulkier. But again, I've used them before and they work just as well. Monofilament glides easily. If you've got a wound that, you know, is at higher risk of infection than most, you wouldn't do a repair in active infection. But let's say there's a higher risk of infection because of the circumstances of the injury, you may prefer to use a monofilament because the braids of the suture can harbor bacteria more easily inside the twists. So that's 4-stranded repair. We've named 3 of them. Suture material, size of the suture. You want to use a 3/0 for a middle-aged person's flexor core repair, maybe for a little finger of a small, either a child or a, you know, small person that's maybe like no taller than 5 foot, 50 to 60 kilos. You might want to use like a 4/0 for the core instead, but generally 3/0 works really well with a 5/0 epitendinous monofilament, whatever suit, monofilament or braided, whatever you used. I tend to use monofilament only though. And then you need to splint the patient so that they can't extend the fingers and bust your repair, because in the first 2 weeks as the tendon is healing, it actually gets softer, so it's at risk of rupture. But you have to get them moving so it manages the swelling and gets the tendon gliding through the sheath. Otherwise you get adhesion sticking them down, they don't recover well. So lots and lots of factors. The surgery is just one, but it's the first and the starting one. If you got value out of this, press the love. If you want more value, share it and follow. We have our subscription only content every week. We posted the videos already for that, and that goes into more depth and we answer your personal Q&A. Like I said, if you got value, share, love, like. We'll post this on the page for you to have a look at any time because it's our free session that we do every now and then. And that was tendon repairs. If you want more information about what we do, medsyncltd.com, medsynclimited.com/community to join our premium members community where we go into depth and we train the future of surgery all around the world. Until the next time, have a good day.